Welcome to the Deep Dish. We're honored today to welcome a friend of PMQ and one of the nation's most passionate pizziolos to the Deep Dish. I'm Andy Neff, talking pizza with Gino Rago, U.S. Pizza team member and owner of Paninos and Via Pizzeria 123 in Chicago. Thanks for being here, Gino. Gino, our theme today, I want to talk to you about your passion for pizza, as I said. You know, some guys go in their garage to work on their hot rod or their build furniture. You go out into your garage in Chicago and you work on your brick oven that you made and you work on your 200-year-old starter yeast. Tell me about that. How does that sum up how you're passionate about pizza?
Well, it all started when about 7-8 years ago, we went to Sorrento in Naples on a family vacation, and I would go to this guy's restaurant every day, and he would finally, after the third day, said to me, "You own a restaurant." I'm like, no. You own a restaurant. I go, "How do you know?" He goes, "Because every time we come out with food, you're looking, you're getting up, you're looking, you own a restaurant." So we started talking. Okay, the truth is I own 3 restaurants, pizzerias in Chicago. So immediately he brought me into his kitchen, started talking, how he makes his pizza, quality of the food that he uses, and we became good friends, and sent me home with a piece of natural Levito Madre. It's a 200-year-old yeast starter that he uses to make pizza, and I took some home with me and started investigating it. Started making dough, pizza crust with it, but I didn't have the right oven at home. It's like 500 degrees. I can't work in I like to do this on my off days, and just started looking to making my own brick oven in my garage because my wife was getting kind of upset with me, making a mess. Right. Call it my little mini pizzeria where I experiment.
So let me ask you about your restaurants. You own Paninos and Via Pizzeria 123 in Chicago.
Yes.
So you're making not only classic Neapolitan pizza, but you're making Chicago-style deep dish, you're making East Coast pizza, you're making a pizza called Grandma's. Is there anybody doing what you're doing in terms of that diversity?
In Chicago, I think we're the only pizzeria under one roof that does all 3 at one location.
And even more so than that, you do an entire menu of American Italian cuisine. Speak
Yes.
about that kind of a challenge from a logistics point of view.
It is challenging. I have a great bunch of good guys behind me who are passionate to learn and create with me. Everything is artisan. We like to do everything that's artisan. Like we make our own sausage. We make a Barre sausage. We make an Italian fennel sausage. We make it's called sassaroni, a pepperoni flavored sausage. We make our own breads, Altamuda style from Puglia. We take leftover dough, if there is any. We make our artisan bread. We make our bread bowls, our breads for bread bowl soups.
And I can just see from the passion as you talk about that you believe that kind of quality and that attention to detail with your ingredients makes a difference.
It does.
Why do you think that is?
People, I think, are educated now. I think people are, TV and the internet has made people more aware of, the cuisine around the world, and just when they come in and they taste something, it's like wow, and a lot of the customers are coming in is, wow, this tastes like Nonna, my grandma used to make, or my ma used to make, or when I went to Italy, it tasted like this, and that's what I strive for. I mean, that's what drives me.
Let me explore a little bit of your family roots. You're a big family guy, but I understand when you were a kid, your dad kind of broke you into the restaurant business. Yeah. And you also got an opportunity to go to Italy. So tell me about that.
Well, I was born here in America. When I was 6 months old, we went back to Italy. I went up until kindergarten and came here in first grade. When I was about 10 years old, my dad would take me to work with him on the weekends to the restaurant. He said, "Hey, you troublemaker, come with me." Mm-hmm. Okay, so I would go with him, peel garlic, cut peppers, put the cheese in the little bags, fold stuff.
Well, talking about family, you actually run the pizzeria with your brother Lenny and your cousin Bruno.
Yes.
Tell me about working with your family. Is that good, or is it?
We have a good relationship. I mean, sometimes we argue a little bit about what should be
Right, I
on the
can't
menu,
imagine.
or oh, this is too complicated. You're gonna make these guys make this, but we're all different, you know.
Right, right.
We're all
Is there
different.
like a divided skill set? Is one guy more the business guy and one guy's the cook? And
Well, my brother's more of the business guy, the financial guy, the daily operations. Bruno's in charge of all the employees, and he helps me choosing products. I'm more of the menu guy and the guy who comes up with newer items that get placed on the menu.
you seem to really like the creative end of
I do.
creating pizzas.
I do.
And being innovative.
Yeah, I love it.
Where do you think that comes from?
I think I got this creativity from just, watching my mom cook, my grandmother cook, going to Italy, growing up until I was 12. I would go there every summer, and, the smells. My grandfather had a farm, we had the fish market.
Wow.
I grew up,
With all those sensory input.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, well put,
Yeah. What percentage of your business is takeout versus dine-in, would you say?
We tend to keep our kitchens a lot bigger than our dining rooms, because we do a lot of catering. As you know, we do a lot of pizzas. You saw the size of the menu. So we're trying to keep our dining room roughly 40 to 50 people. That's it, let's say 9 to 12 tables. That's all we want to do. Because on a Friday and Saturday night, I mean, we're so busy with pickup and delivery and catering that you can't offer the proper service for the people coming into the dining room. It just...
Again, a tremendous challenge with
Yes,
staffing.
it's very hard.
Well,
Very hard.
let me ask you, speaking of staffing, one of the big issues in the industry today is wages, and talk about raising the minimum wage. And in the pizzeria business, that can be a crucial issue. What's your thought about paying your team, or how you try to create a team, create camaraderie in a team? How does pay work into it? How do you try and juggle those issues?
As far as wages, we're from Chicago, and they've come out with some wage increases that are coming forth in the next couple of years. And what I'm doing is I'm just preparing for it. I mean, I'm slowly raising the prices on the menu just for when that day comes, I'll be ready. I mean, these people who work in the food industry have to pay their bills also. I think, it's good that they're getting a little more money than minimum wage, but then again, I look at it a different aspect. Somebody who's coming out of high school just to answer phones,
It's a learning process.
Yeah, it's a learning process. Then they're getting their feet wet, and were they going to make $15 an hour answering phones? I mean, I'm against that. But for someone who's working in the kitchen or bartending or serving, and they're working hard, I don't mind that they're going up, but I need time to give the restaurateur time to raise their prices, because in our business, you go from like a $10 to $13. You're going to scare off a lot of customers, and it's going to hurt us all in the end. That's what I believe.
Do you try and identify your star performers and retain them if you can?
Well, I try. We're fortunate that we've had guys who've been with us for like 18 years.
Wow.
Yeah, I do retain them. I treat them well. I treat everybody like family.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't treat them
it's
like...
more than just money.
I treat them like family. We have family meals. We go out sometimes. I treat them like family with respect. As long as they respect me, I respect them. And, there's a time to work and there's a time to play. Growing up in the restaurant business, I know what it's like. And that's why I think people stay with us. I mean...
Well, I wanted to ask you about your products that you're marketing through your restaurant, your product lines that you have developed, and talk a little bit about that. That's an amazing accomplishment.
People would come in the restaurant and goes, "Oh, can I buy some dough balls? Oh, I have a wood burning oven in my backyard, or I have, I'm doing this thing. I need, I want to make, your panzerotti, or this focaccia. How do I get this focaccia? I can't find this anywhere else." It led me to start making, instead of selling them the dough, and I wouldn't have it sometimes, and I just started. Because I have 3 restaurants, I wanted consistency too. You know, I can't be at all 3 locations at the same time. I just came up with this idea, you know, why not package everything into one bag where you could just like add the water, a little oil, and you're done. And you have an artisan, you know, style crust, you know, and, you know, led me to do the focaccia bread, the panzerotti, then the Neapolitan style pizza sauce. I mean, you have the pizza crust, why not the sauce?
And you've even expanded into barbecue sauce.
Yes, barbecue sauce has been with us a lot longer than a Via Pizzeria. I came up with that maybe like 8 years ago, 9 years ago. And it's really big in Chicago. It's called Bibs, bone dry. We also have a wing sauce.
So Gino, as you've been visiting us here at PMQ, I've really been enjoying watching you cook, and I've noticed you kind of spice your cooking with some authentic Italian phrases. And I wondered if you would share with our audience out there the real way to say these things. And let me prompt you by saying, what's the expression you use when you're talking about your passion for pizza?
Passione e fantasia.
That sounds great.
Yes.
What's that mean?
It means passion and fantasy. A passion for doing what you're doing, and fantasia means taking the pie and creating your toppings, create something. It's called fantasy. Whatever you want, you're fantasizing what you want this pizza to look like and putting those ingredients on there.
And finally, when a really good pizza comes out of the oven, you have this way of accenting that perfect pizza. Give it with some gusto.
Well, when I take a pizza out of the oven, it looks good. I go, Maron!
I love it. In closing, kind of the theme of this conversation has been about passion, and it's a real treat for me to get to interview somebody who's so passionate and so skilled in their profession and loves their profession the way you do. And I think it shows in your success of your business, and I've seen it as you have cooked for us, you know, over these last couple of days. So I really appreciate the opportunity.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
For Deep Dish, I'm Andy Neff.